single level, two level, hierarchical, acyclic graph directory, and general graph directory. In today's session, we are going to see Unix file system as a case study. The file system in Unix is hierarchical system of organizing files and directories. It's like a tree structure. So the top level in the hierarchy is called root, and it holds all the files and directories in Unix operating system. And the name of this root directory is \. So if you can see, this is how Unix file system looks like. This is your root directory / it can contain number of directories like bin, etc, users, temp. Then in users you can have multiple users, and each user can have its own directories and files. In previous session we have seen that directory is a special kind of file. Unix uses directory to hold information about other files. So it holds other directories and files and metadata about whatever the files and directories it have, that is information about other files. It directory acts as container that holds other files or directories. So it is like a container in a big container, or there are many containers in a small big container. File system consists of sequence of logical blocks. So these blocks are in 2 raised to power like 512 or 1024 bytes, etc. size of each block, and it is a sequence of logical blocks. File system has following structure. It has first block is called boot block, then super block, and inode list. This is all the information about that particular file, and this is the data block where data is stored, and this information is used by directory to categorize the file and to find the file where it is located, loaded in actually secondary storage or hard disk. Inode list. So this inode list is nothing but it is like an index to the particular file. The files are actually stored on the hard disk, and the its location where it is stored, and what is the type of file, the size of file, who is the owner, user, all this information is stored in inode list. So inodes are used to access disk files. Files are stored on the hard disk. Inode maps disk files. So for each file there is an inode entry in the inode list block. So whenever you create a new file, its inode entry gets created, and that is stored in inode list block. Inode list also keeps track of directory structure. So we are again saying that directory is a special type of file. If you are creating a directory instead of file, that is also the information about directory is also stored in inode list. And what it contains? It contains file owner identifier, who is a owner, and then file type, whether it is a regular file or directory, and other different types of files we are going to see. Then file access permission. What are the access permission for user, owner, and others and group? Then file access time, when it was last modified, when it was last access. So all those access times are stored in inode list. Number of links to the file. Are there any allies of the file exist, or do we have different paths to that file? So if there are, then all those links we have seen in previous session, there are two types of links, hard link and soft link. So those number of links are stored here. Then table of contents for the disk address of the data in a file. File may not be stored sequentially. Some part of the file is stored at different locations. So all those addresses are stored in one table, and the contents of this table or the offset for this table is stored in inode list. table of content of disk addresses of data in a file. So data in a file can be stored at various locations in hard disk, not in a contiguous manner. And the link or the offset for these locations is stored in one table, and this table is located in inode list and actual file size. In Unix, we have 6 types of files. Regular file. The normal files are called regular files. Whatever the files is, whether it is code file, program file, data file, image file, video, audio, whatever the files you create normally, those are regular files. Then another type is directory file. We have different type of files depending upon the data access methods, like character device and block device files. Then Unix domain socket and named pipes. These are for networking. And then symbolic links. We'll see what are the symbolic links. So these are the, for every, whenever you run this command ls-l, you can see first byte or first bit is type of a file, and for regular file it shows dash, for directory it shows character D, if it is character device file it shows small c, block device file small b, local domain socket small s, named pipe p, and symbolic link L. So regular file is a big bag of bytes. So it is also called big O bytes, means it is a sequence of bits or bytes contiguously. Unix imposes no structure on its content. There is no restriction on a content. Data can be stored in whatever the manner it is allowed. All text files, data files, executable programs, shared libraries, binary file, GIF, JPEG, executable text, script, source code .c, .java, documentation, docx, PDF. So all types of files come under regular file. And it supports sequential and random access. What is sequential and random access? We have seen how to access data from a file. You can either access sequence one byte at a time, and or a random access. You can directly go to that particular address and read whatever the data you want to read. Second type is directory. So directory contains named reference of other files. We have seen these commands: mkdir to make directory, rmdir to remove directory. Can it contain any kind of file? Yes, it can contain any kind of file. Different types of files uh, can be there in a directory. What is dot and dot dot? Dot is current directory and dot dot is parent directory. File name is actually stored in parent directory and not in the file itself. Reference to the files are called links. So if there are more than one references, so this link count we have to store. File allows more than one directory entry point to the particular file. This is very important. Unix allows more than one directory entry point to the particular file, means it can have more than one actual address. Attributes of file like ownership, permissions are shared among all the links. So if I created a file and it has two different paths, and if that file is read only, so it is read only for uh, either you go with this way, with this directory address or another directory address. So these attributes like ownership or permissions are shared among all the links. It is same. About hard link and soft link, we'll see later. Okay, let me explain you what is hard link and soft link here itself. Linux editor is visible. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Here I have a file hello.c. These are the contents of hello.c, simple hello world program of C language. Now I am creating a soft link and hard link. Command is ln link. File name is hello.c. First I am creating a hard link. So give any name, say hard link.c. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a hard link for hello.c program, and file name is hello hardlink.c. So hardlink.c is created, right? What are the contents of hardlink.c? It is exact same copy of hello.c, right? If you see long listing or more information, so this is hardlink.c and this is hello.c. First dash, is it visible, this dash? First bit shows type of file. As it is dash means these are regular files, and you can see all the permissions are copied as it is. Size of file is same, 76 bytes. Hello.c and hardlink.c. So this is a hard link. It creates another access or another file with the same content. It creates exactly same copy of the file. This is hard link. And to create a soft link, again I'm going to use ln command, ln, and option is -s. S is for soft link, and I'm creating one more file. I have to give original file first, hello.c, then any name, I'm giving it softlink.c. So if I see ls, the softlink.c is created. Just check what are the contents of softlink.c. So it's saying, oh sorry, I forgot T. It is also similar to hello.c. Now, what is the difference between hard link and soft link? Can you see here soft link ls-l long listing command? This is our hardlink.c, which is similar to hello.c. Even softlink.c is now pointing to hello.c. Can you see this pointer? It is pointing to hello.c. And you check these permissions and note this type of file is L. L means links. How should I explain you? You know the shortcuts, or we create icons and we click on the icons and we directly reach to the file, right? Or we can have shortcuts, and we can have shortcuts anywhere, not only on desktop, but in your own folder you can create a shortcut for your favorite movie or songs, and you can just with one click you can reach to that directory. So whenever you create a shortcut, it is not pointing to the actual data of a file, but it is pointing to a file which points to actual file. So here soft link is like just a pointer to a particular file, and hard link is actual file. It creates a replica of a file. So let's see what is the difference between hard link and soft link. Suppose I delete this hello.c. How to delete this file hello.c? Command is remove hello.c. Check ls. Hello.c is not there. Now check contents of hard link. Hardlink.c. So file exists because it is a different means a new file gets created with the same content and it has its own inode entry. They are pointing to the link is pointing directly to the hard disk data, not to the file. Now, what about soft link? Whether it will contain data? We created this hello.c file. What about softlink.c? What it will show if I say cat softlink.c? It is giving me some error. Can't open softlink.c. No such file or directory. But this file exists. File is there. If you see ls, you can see softlink.c, but it is showing error that no such file or directory. Why? Because it is not a file. It is a pointer to the file hello.c and we deleted this hello.c. So it has created a dangling reference. Softlink has created a dangling reference. It is not pointing to the proper location. It is an invalid pointer. So whenever you click on that particular icon and if that file is already deleted, it won't. It will show you error. Can't open a file. So soft links are like shortcuts or icons, and hard link is another name or replica of an original file. Now is it clear? Hard link and soft link. Third type of file in Unix is device file. It allows program to communicate with a hardware, as the name says device file. It is about the device or hardware device. The module of a particular device called device driver to manage the device. Device is not managed by operating system directly. There is a module which is called device driver, operating system called device driver, and device driver manages this device. So device drivers are again system softwares. They are like regular files, and kernel module handle device management. This is our fifth unit. We are going to learn how to manage IO devices. Then there are two types of devices, character device and block device. So character device accepts a stream of characters. Stream means flow. So it reads a data from a device in character form without regard to any block structure, character by character, not as a block by block. It is not addressable. There is no seek operation because it's a sequential access. Now, what is the use of seek operation? Seek operation can skip number of bytes and directly go to that particular block. If you're taking data in chunks of say 10 bytes at a time, and if you want to read 100th byte, then you will skip first 9 bytes and directly go to the 100th byte because you know what is the size of each block. So you can skip those blocks. And fseek function, you can directly refer to that particular offset. But in character device, you are going or reading one character at a time. There is no particular structure. So seek operation is not needed. Block device. So in case of block device, information is read can be stored in chunks or fixed size blocks. It is addressable, therefore seek operation is possible. So for every block you can have an address. At this location you can have a header block, then here footer block, then here data block, etc. So you can directly go to that particular block. Device files are characterized by two numbers, major and minor device numbers. Major number tells kernel which driver the file refers to. So major device number which tells kernel which device driver refers to, and minor device number tells driver which physical unit to address. So for every device file there are 2 bytes or 2 characters. One is major and one is minor device number. Major number communicates with a kernel to call a particular device driver, and minor number communicates with the actual physical unit where that device is connected to. Then these two files means device file. In device file we have character file and block structure, block device. So character device file and block device file. that is related to IO devices. And now these two files, Unix domain socket BSD and named pipe, these are related to networking part in Unix. Sockets are Unix domain sockets. Unix domain sockets are connection between processes that allow them to communicate. So when processes want to communicate with each other or processes want to communicate with remote devices, then these sockets are used. Sockets are local to the particular host and are referred to file system object rather than network port. It is used in X Windows, syslog, etc. So when we have multiple programs or multiple processes executing together, and when they want to communicate with each other, these sockets are used. And named pipe or FIFO files, these are live sockets. It allows communication between two unrelated processes running on same host. If the processes are not belong to a particular group or domain, but they want to communicate with each other, in that case, this named pipe or FIFO are used. And last type is symbolic link. Just now we have seen what are symbolic links and hard links. Symbolic links points to a file by its name using its path name. So it is a pointer to that particular file. And hard links are linking file by reference. It is like call by value and call by reference. So it is a address of on a disk where the file is actually stored. System maintains count of the number of links and does not work across file systems. So it is hard link or symbolic link work only on a particular hard links work only for a particular file system. It won't work across file systems. If you connect two different file systems and try to link one file with other file, it is not possible. But in case of soft link, linking files by name, here linking is by reference in hard link, here it is linking by name. No counter is maintained because it is just like linked list. One file, one link is pointing to another file. If you create one more link, that is another link to the file. And work across file system. It works across file systems. Any queries about type of files? 7 types of files in Unix. A regular file, then directory, third and fourth are device files, character device and block device. Fifth and sixth are related to networking, that is Unix pipes and Unix domain socket and named pipes. And seventh one is symbolic link. Name is given symbolic link for that file, but it can be hard link or soft link depending upon the links of file. This is how you can view directory structure and files layout. On right hand side, these blocks means actual blocks on disk. Files are stored in different blocks. These are blocks on disk. And these are the directories. This is file information and this is inode. Inode means information about this file. For every file, note that we are assuming all data of a file is not stored sequentially. They can stored at different locations on a disk. So for a particular file, inode is created. This is file information. Information means who is the owner, what is the size and type of a file, etc. And then these are the access, direct access to that particular part of a file or block of a file. These are direct accesses. And we can have indirect access, single indirect, double indirect, or triple indirect. Means single indirect will point to one location, and from that location you can point to the actual data from a disk. In double indirect, you can point to the location, that location points to another location, and then it can point to the data on a disk. And we can have triple access. So this inode is the location for each and every block of a file where the file is stored actually on a disk. It can direct access that disk or indirect access with single, double, or triple access. And for this inode, to point to this inode, we maintain inode table. So inode table points to this inode, and inode will point to the data from a disk. And what directory maintains? Directory maintains index of this inode, I1, I2, I3, and name of the file. So directory is nothing but a mapping of inode list with the file name. So we save file as hello.c or hardlink.c or softlink.c. This is maintained in a directory. But directory has inode table index. Inode table index has this pointer to this inode, and inode has a pointer to the actual data. Is it clear? Directory structure and file layout. The Unix file system has never been very well organized like Windows. It is incompatible naming convention. Different type of files are scattered in namespace, and it allows long file naming also. Due to difficult conventions, it is difficult to upgrade the operating system. In Windows, there are very systematic rules how to define a file, how to give extension to the file, and the files are organized properly as per their extensions. But that is not the case with Unix. And one more thing, Unix also allows a files without a name. You can save a file without any name, and which make it more difficult to sort such files or find such files. So we have seen the file system in Unix. Topmost file or directory is root directory. It is slash. Then we can have bin or sbin. Some Unix versions use the directory name sbin. These are the basic system operations. Commands used for basic system operations are stored in bin directory. Device directory is used for device entries. Whatever the devices are connected to the system, all these entries are in our device directory. etc directory is used for critical startup and configuration files. Lib directory is a library for C compiler and other compilers. Temp directory stores all temporary files which are generated while execution. Then we have var admin or var log, which are accounting files or log files. Then slash proc is information about running processes. Slash sys is kernel building work area. It stores configuration files. Then proc, as we have seen, it is information or images of all running processes. Bin is executable file. Man is manual pages, online manual pages. Then hash in user include is header files in C program. Share man is online manual pages again. It can be stored directly in user directory or can be in share directory. And temp is temporary files. Slash user has most of the standard programs are kept along with many online manual pages and most of the libraries. And var maintains directories, log files, accounting information, and other entries needed for each host. File attributes we have seen in the previous session. 9 permission bits: read, write, execute for user, owner, and group. So this these bytes are how to read this. It is like this. First, right hand side, 3 bits means read, write, and execute permission for user. This is for user or owner. This is for group. Read, write, and execute permission for group. And this is for others. Read, write, and execute permission for owner, uh, group, and others. This is for owner, left hand side. Then this is for group, and this is for others. And first bit is a type file. Dash means it is a regular file. If it is D means a directory. So for regular file, we have R bit allows the file to be opened and read. W bit allows file content to modified and truncated. Read mode allows to open and read. You can just open and read. You cannot modify. W means write. You can change, truncate, delete data. Delete or rename is allowed when it is in W mode. X allowed to be executed. File you can run, and that is only for uh, executable files. Executable means .exe or .com. So that can be a binary file or script file. Binary file CPU runs directly like ./a.out or class files or Java files. Script file like sh shell script. We have to call shell command to execute shell program. It is an interpreter, command line interpreter. So for read, write, execute, we know that for execute it is 1 and other bits are 0. For write it is 1 0, so 2, and for read it is 1 0 0, that is 4. The value is 4, so it is 4 plus 2 plus 1. If you add this number 4 plus 2 plus 1, it is 7. So corresponding number for read, write and execute is 7. Only for read and write, read is 4, write is 2, 4 plus 2 is 6. You go through this. What is meaning of read for file means and directory means? Read for file means it can allow you to open and read contents, and for a directory it allows you to list contents of the directory. You can just list. You will understand which file is in the directory, but you are not allowed to open that particular file. In case of write, you can edit the contents, you can add or delete the contents of a file. And for directory, you can create your own files, or you can remove, delete files from the directory. That is write access. Execute, you can run a file, and in case of directory, you can open that file. Allow user to enter directory and work with the directory contents, means you are allowed to open that particular file or directory. Can you check what is this permission means? 412. What is meaning of 4? 4 for owner, user or group?
Owner.
It is for owner. 4 means which access? Read, write or execute?
Read.
Read. Read for owner. 1 means
Group.
1 is execute for group,
Execute for group. Huh?
and 2 means write for
Read
other.
for user.
2 is right, no?
Yes, ma'am.
2 is right. Try to decrypt this. What is meaning of 5, 6, 4, 2, 5, 1, like this? We'll check how to change the permission. We have seen whenever the file gets created, it automatically assigns some permission bits for owner, user, and group. Uh, User can change these permissions with directory commands. So there are commands like chown. Chown is used to change owner, change user, and group assigned to a file or directory, and can only use when logged in as a root. So you need root access or privileged access to run these commands. For example, if I want to change manager for this report.doc file, so here the command is chown, the name command, then new user and report.doc, name of the file. So to change files group, you must either to be a owner of a file or belong to the group you are changing to. So this is to change owner. So what will happen if I'm a owner and I want to give access of this file to say Chinmay? So what will be the command? File name say hello.c. So it is ch own, then new owner, say Chinmay, and file name hello.c. So what will happen now? Now Chinmay is the owner of hello.c. And what about me? I am also the owner or no? If you change the owner can be only one. So old owner will be replaced by new owner. You cannot uh, have more than one owners. So now Chinmay is the owner. But to run this command, you should be in, you should have root access. Excuse me. Now to change group, you can have change group command. To change the files group, you want to hand over a project from one group to another group, then there are the conditions like you should have access of root, then you should log in with as a root, and another thing is you should be a owner or a group member or belong to the group that you are changing to, or to be a super user. Then only you can run this command chgrp and name of the group and file name. So change group assigns to a file or a directory. So it will assign a new group to the file and old group is discarded. So change owner command of a file or directory. So it has two arguments, new owner and file to change, and can use and -r option for contents of directory. Means if you want to change owner for all the files in a directory, if the directory contains 100 files, no need to run ch own command 100 times. You have to run the command as ch own and -r. -r means recursively. It change the owner for each and every file from the directory recursively. chgrp change group command change group owner of a file or directory. Same arguments like this. Uh, and options are as ch own command, new owner and file to change. And if you want to change it recursively, use -r. Ch own can change both owner and group of a file at once with the syntax ch own username colon group name and file. So ch own is also used to change owner as well as group. For example, ch own -r repeatedly. I want the owner should be Matt and group is staff of this file from this directory. So it will change owner and a group for all the files from this directory recursively. So ch own command can change ownership of user as well as group. So primary group is user's default group. During file creation, file owner and group owner set to username, and primary group same of the directory creation. You can use command who am I to view current username, and group command view group membership and primary group. We can create groups and you can be a part of group. We can have touch command which creates empty file. Change mode. Chmod command is used to change file permissions. Just now we have seen read, write, and execute permissions can be changed with the chmod command. Regular files can alter permission assigned to any file or directory that you own. Only the owner of the file and the super user can change the permissions. Any user or others cannot change file permissions. Chmod has various specifications. First argument of chmod is specification of a permission, and second is file for which we want to change this permission. For example, you can have version like chmod o plus w. Now it is o plus w means for owner you want write mode report.txt. So report.doc file you want to give write access to the owner, so owner plus write access. Or we can have this number chmod 711 my program. So to my program, we can want to give access 7, that is read, write and execute for user. One means execute for a group and one means execute for others for my program. So we can use plus, minus, equal to add, remove or set access or permissions. Here u plus w means for user we are giving write access, add write access. O dash x means from owner, remove execute access. And you can use this command dash r for recursively update the file permissions within a directory. So what we want for group, we want to give write access for all files in my directory. So you can use a command chmod dash r, r is capital, g means group, plus w means you want to add write access to all the files in my directory recursively. We can have umask command. It is masking and unmasking. It defines mask to stop certain permissions. Means you didn't want anyone to change these permissions, so you can mask these permissions. So define mask to stop certain permissions from being granted by default when the file is created. So you didn't want to allow execute command. So executed automatically when you log in to the Linux, uses same 3-digit permission codes as chmod command for unmask. So it assigns default permissions. Every process has its own umask attribute and these are set by system. Unmask is specified as 3-digit octal value that represent permissions. When the file is created, its permissions are set to whatever the creating program requests, minus whatever the unmask forbids. For example, unmask is umask 0 to 7. What is 0 means? No permission to the owner. 2 is write permission to the group. And 7 means read, write, execute permission for the other. So it allows or permission for the unmask means it is exactly opposite. This is not allowed. You cannot set user to owner to 0. So exactly opposite to 0 is 7, means you are allowing all permissions for the user but forbid write permission to the group and allow no permission for the anyone else. So this is minus, means you are not allowing write permission to the group and all permissions are not allowed to the others which are not part of the group. Special permission is any queries? Ankita, echo येते. So mask the execute permission when displayed ls minus l command. So may be set even if the file or directory does not have execute permission. Indicating later in the mode will be capitalized. All special permissions via chmod command are granted and by the files. Add an extra digit at the front of permission argument. So various setting and special command permissions we can see in ls-l, the commands of the file or permission for these files. Mounting, unmounting, yesterday we have seen a program how to mount a new file system in general. Similarly, in case of Unix we have seen it is a tree file system. File systems once created is logically a separate entity and has a separate tree structure or root directory. At the time of booting, means when you start a machine or operating system gets loaded, this file system unites to become a single file system. The root file system is the main file system and root directory is the directory for it. Mounting, with mounting, user sees single file system and the file that seems moved from one directory to other. The term mount means attach a file system to the root file system. When you attach any pen drive or mobile or any other SIM card or a memory card to your system, you're trying to merge those file systems. So first we have to make an empty directory in main file. Unix has mount and unmount commands which are used for device opening and closing for block devices. So we have seen yesterday mount command, mount device path and pen drive path. So these contents of the pen drive are mounted on this device. Mounting, making a device accessible to the user via logical directory tree. You can see that new added device as a part of your directory structure. Mount point is directory to which the device is attached. The mounted device temporarily cover up the contents of mount point. Any existing directory can be a mount point. It temporarily covers all the contents of that directory. It overwrites or it creates a logical view for new contents. In order to prevent making files inaccessible, create empty directories used specially for mounting devices. Instead of using existing directories with some files, create a new directory which is free and use it as a mount point for mounting new devices. So suppose this is a file, new file system we want to mount. This is before mounting and this is a mount point we have created. After mounting this device, you can access all the files and directories from this system as if it is a part of your own directory structure. And then you can unmount after accessing those files or saving, copying, moving files or directories. You can use unmount command which will detach this file system from the root file system. So root file system is first turned on. File system on a hard drive is mounted to dash directory. Contains most OS files. Mount command used to mount devices to mount points. Unmount command used to unmount devices from mount points. So unmount has only one path, that is pen drive path and device path. So unmounting the file system is not possible if the file is open or not placed above it. So first you have to ensure that all files are closed uh, and then you can run unmount command. After unmount, this file system is detached from this mount point. Even note that even root file system, basic file systems are automatically mounted and unmounted during booting. So when system is set, this file is loaded into main memory. It is already in backstore. So this file system is attached to the root directory, that is called mounting. And when you shut down the machine, this is unmounted. It always asks you, these files are open, do you want to close it? You need to close everything and then shut down. Otherwise, in some operating systems, whenever you open, you can get whatever the copy of files you kept open as it is. Any queries about Unix file system?